Oh, there's a couple more,
Do you
sorry.
have difficulty making decisions?
Do you trust yourself? Do you trust others?
Okay, what stands out? What is has a hot temperature for any of those things? You need to talk a little bit amongst yourselves again?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, self-image. Sometimes I really feel that that's why I was here during this lifetime, because everything, even though I've talked a lot about the sacrum and so forth, it seems like there has been so much about lack of self-esteem and lack of confidence. And there have been so many things I would have done, could have done in my youth perhaps, or sooner in my adult life, if I had only felt like anything was possible. I never understood those airy-fairy people, I call, who just have no fear. They just plunge into things. They believe just wholeheartedly that they can do anything that they want to do, and they just go about it with all of the self-confidence in the world. While I, on the other hand, always felt like, oh gosh, I don't know, wonder if this doesn't work out, and you know, will I have the resources I need, particularly at this recent struggle of mine, when I'm risking basically everything that I have in order to achieve the desire of being back in my home. It's just a huge issue in self-esteem, of confidence, of going forward, and trusting and knowing that even though things don't turn out maybe like I hope and think they might, I will be able to problem solve, find a creative and hopefully spiritual solution to whatever happens to me. That takes a huge amount of trust and a huge self-image, really, confidence in oneself. And I've often struggled with the issue of, you know, where does God begin and I end, or where do I end and God begin? Because it seems to me so much of my life has been, you know, God helps those who help themselves. And how do you know when you're being guided? How do you know when things are going to turn out okay? Well, you don't. And life is not always fair. And things happen to good people. Bad things happen to good people. People do lose their homes. People do end up on the street. People do lose their jobs. And why do those things happen? I mean, if we had the answers to those things, those questions, we'd be able to solve all of life's problems, predicaments, and so forth. But that's what faith is all about. And it's come down to me to believe that my faith is my ability to move forward and take risks, even though I am scared to do that, frightened, just beyond words to do that. Faith means moving forward, and maybe that's faith in myself, but what is that self except that it is the God-given ability to reason, to think, to problem solve, to know that there will be other circumstances, people, things happen that I'm in no control of, but help to resolve whatever problems I'm having. That to me is an active faith. And you know, they say that God's a verb. Well, to me it's not sitting around praying and hoping and asking that your problems be solved by a God or a guru or someone that you're giving power outside of yourself to. But those problems are solved by your God-given ability, for the most part, to do what you can to resolve the issue. And then, as I said earlier in this series, that's where grace comes in. You use your will, your solar plexus, to do everything that you can to trust that you have the ability to problem solve and to resolve, and then you surrender and let go to the grace of God to fill in the details and supply those things that you're not in control of. You surrender and release it at that point, and that, to me, is, again, a part of faith, but of just being able to believe that there's a higher power, and be that your higher self, whatever you want to call that, there is a higher power that contributes to your growth and development. And that sometimes means not always getting what you want,
That's why you're so cool. I mean,
but
because
what
it's sad, all
you
of it.
really need to grow.
That's the challenge.